I found out in the same phone call that Ryan Hurd wanted to take me out on tour and Thomas Rhett wanted to take me out on tour. I found out about both tours in the same phone call. I got a call from a manager who said, "You cannot tell a soul, but these two offers just came in today."
Hey friends, it's your girl, Emily Curl. Welcome back to my virtual studio. Today we're hanging out with rising country music singer and songwriter. We've got Connor Smith here. Hi, Connor.
What's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks so much for being here.
Absolutely, I'm great. Just excited to be on here.
Yeah, we're excited to talk with you because I have to tell you, I first found out about you from your viral TikTok for your song, I Hate Alabama, which I feel like a lot of people did. I'm from Georgia. I'm a huge Georgia fan, so I especially loved and related to the song. Tell me a little bit. Give me the backstory on that song. It sounds like this was a personal experience for you.
Well, so this is a wild story of just this song because I come at this song from a Tennessee fan perspective, but I love how it kind of works among all SEC schools and really any school in the country. But this song was the first song I recorded I didn't write, and right when I heard it, I fell in love with it for every reason. I mean, it's this amazing heartbreak song, but it's also this college football anthem. It's like a Alabama diss track, but it's also like a compliment to Alabama in this cool way. And so that's what I loved about it. Obviously, if it was just like a I Hate Alabama with no meaning, I wouldn't have cared. But the way it kind of told the story was awesome. So we recorded this song. We were kind of trying to do it quick because we knew that we had to get out during college football season. So we recorded the song with my band playing on it, and then shot a video and was just like, let's just put this video on the internet and see if anybody cares. And they did care. A lot of people did. So they did. I think that night I had more shares on that video on Instagram than anything I'd ever posted. And I got a call from Scott Borchetta at my label, and he said, "We're putting the song out next Friday." And that was 8 days from when we posted the video. So it was a crazy story. And then the Lord's timing's perfect because the day after we put it out, Alabama loses in football for the first time in 2 years.
So it's like you're the catalyst for it.
It just changed my life. Everybody was, of course, blaming me for the loss, and of course I took credit. And so it was a beautiful thing.
It's so exciting. I can only imagine a song that you love, that you put a lot of time into, going viral on TikTok, that so many people relate to you. Take me back to that moment when you realized that it was taking off. What was that day, that experience like for you?
I always say, I laugh because I know that if anybody else were to put out that song, I would be so jealous of them. So the fact that I got to make that song my own and have it was pretty cool. I mean, just to see it take on a life of its own, to watch these TikToks get millions of views that I posted, and then have other people post the videos that got millions of views. And it really did change everything for me. I think you just watched momentum shift. You saw the shows get bigger. We started selling out shows for the first time. We'd go down to Athens in Georgia or Knoxville and hear hundreds and thousands of people screaming a song back to you is a wild thing. And it really just took on a life of its own, and it was fun to watch it every weekend. I'd get videos of people at tailgates blasting it. And so once again, I was just glad to make it my own song.
Having that moment and being on the app, do you think it sort of changed the trajectory for the way that you connect with your fans or the way that you write and release music?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think TikTok's a beast in the music industry, and you have to figure out the way to use it. I've always said, as an artist, use TikTok to create a brand, not let TikTok be the brand. And so really just trying to show people who I am as a songwriter and as an artist on there, but not really chase after the next viral thing or chase after views. What's cool about I Hate Alabama was, hey, this is a song that, I'm 21, I'd be a junior in college if I had gone. It was kind of this perfect song for me that kind of showed a lot of who I was. And so to have this song go viral, and then of course just have people connect to what I was doing, it helped them connect to the other songs we had put out. If you're an artist and you're not using TikTok, you should probably rethink that. But there's also, I do think there's a way to do it to where it really helps kind of the overall thing and not just create one moment.
Yeah. I mean, and you didn't write this song, but songwriting is nothing new for you. I feel like you've been writing songs since you were very little, right? When did you write your very first song?
So I think I was 6 years old. I wrote my first one. I'd gone to the Grand Ole Opry. I grew up in Nashville. And I would say when you grow up in Nashville, you learn that being a songwriter is a job. And so ever since I was 7 years old, you could ask me what I wanted to be when I grew up, and I would have said a songwriter. So I wrote my first song when I was 6 after being at the Grand Ole Opry. I heard Hal Ketchum perform a song called Shore Love, and I came and rewrote the lyrics but kept the melody, and that was the first song I ever wrote.
What did you change the lyrics to?
I think it was if I could touch 10 stars in the sky, it would be a dream come true. That's really the only line I remember.
Oh, that's powerful as a kid.
Yeah, I guess so. But I became addicted to it, just telling stories. And so ever since that first song, every day I was writing songs. I got to signed my first publishing deal when I was 16. a junior in high school and was going to school, would go write songs and then come back and play in the baseball games. And so I was very fortunate to grow up in Nashville and kind of be able to do it all and be around it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like for me, I love country music. And sometimes when you go to like a country music concert or just an artist that you love, you have like a spiritual experience, right? Where you're just in the crowd, you're singing the music. I can imagine growing up in Nashville, that was an amazing place to do that. Do you have a moment or a memory of like the first concert that you really felt like was like, maybe not a spiritual moment where you're like, I want to do something like that, or I want to be on that stage?
Yeah, so the first concert I ever went to was Kenny Chesney at Nissan Stadium, which is the Titan Stadium in Nashville. You know, vividly, there's a picture of me, and I'm probably 8. There's a picture of me with a hat that just says Country Star on it, with Kenny's stage behind me. But I laugh because when I was 16, I went on a date with a girl to a Thomas Rhett concert. The date didn't go good. We broke up like the next Monday at school or something. But we went on this date to this concert, and it was TR's first headlining tour. And I remember going on that date, and then literally 5 years later, now I'm opening up for his entire tour. So like just moments like that, I remember watching him on stage and just dreaming about doing that and capturing a crowd the way he did. So now to get to be a part of that show is a pretty wild thing.
That's so exciting. Congratulations. Like, take me back to the moment when you found out that you were going to be on that tour. I know that had to be big, not only for you, but probably for your family too.
Yeah, that was a wild night for a lot of reasons. TR has been a massive supporter of mine. The first time we ever met was in 2020. There was a big tornado that came through Nashville, and we met picking up some tree limbs out in East Nashville.
Were you just like, that's Thomas Rhett?
He was with some of my family friends. And so I went over to say hey to them and ended up meeting Thomas Rhett. And next thing you know, he's like, hey, let's write some songs. And so we wrote, and I think we just kind of really connected as humans. Like, we're very similar dudes, and the way we see the industry and country music. And so we became buddies, and he just kind of became like a big brother. And so we kind of built this relationship over time. And then I got a call that he wanted to take me on the road. Actually, I found out, because we're on the Ryan Hurd tour right now, and I found out in the same phone call that Ryan Hurd wanted to take me out on tour and Thomas Rhett wanted to take me out on tour. I found out about both tours in the same phone call. I got a call from a manager who said, you cannot tell a soul, but these 2 offers just came in today. It's just one of those days you'll never forget. But I had to keep it a secret. I called my mama, of course, and told the family, but other than that, I had to wait about a week.
What'd your mom say?
Oh, my mom was freaking out.
You're on Ryan Hurd's tour, like you said, which is so exciting. What's been your favorite moment or favorite memory of the tour so far?
So the first weekend of the tour was the same weekend we put out my debut EP in middle of January 14th, I think. So we played 4 shows, Thursday through Sunday. And Friday night, when the EP came out, people were screaming the lyrics back to these brand new songs. And then Sunday, it was even louder. So that was one of those moments where me and my band just kind of looked at each other like, what is going on? Like, to watch these people screaming back lyrics of a song that got put out that day, that was a pretty special moment.
Your EP Didn't Go Too Far, like you said, is out, which had to be exciting because as a songwriter, I'm sure you had a lot to choose from to put on this EP. How did you decide what you wanted to be like the introduction to Connor?
I think the introduction is the key word. That's kind of what I felt like as a new artist. I mean, I've spent my whole life writing songs. I've spent, especially these last 2 years, really zoned in on what I wanted to do as an artist. And so we had all these songs to choose from, still have a lot of songs to choose from that I'm excited to get out. But when I looked at the debut EP and what I wanted it to be, I wanted it to be an introduction. Each of these 6 songs kind of shows a different side of me as a writer, as an artist. You know, from College Town, which I wrote by myself, that's just kind of my personal story, to song like Learn From It, that is all these stories of stupid things I did growing up, to songs like Didn't Go Too Far that I just love as a country songwriter. I feel like it all showed good sides of me. And then also on the road, like, these are all songs that are fun to play live. And I think as an opening act, I think that's really important. Do
you prefer, like, now being on the road, songwriting or like playing live, or is there one that you like more than the other?
They're both weird drugs. I can't exist without writing songs. Like, it's just so part of who I am. But at the same time, there's no place I feel more at home than standing on a stage in front of a crowd. I came from a write just now to come over here, and I laughed on the way. I was like, man, it's hard having 2 jobs. But both jobs are incredible, and it's just different sides of the brain.
Okay, so as a writer and on your debut EP, if you had to choose like one line or like a certain set of lyrics that like you're most proud of or that you love the most, what comes to mind right now?
Yeah, the line in the bridge, I learned from it, that says, "It ain't about the mistakes you make, it's the mistakes that make you." I love that line because I think it gives that song, that's just kind of this fun, upbeat song, it gives it meaning. And so I think as a writer, what I love about country music is you can say something and you can tell stories and you can say something that matters. And so I love, as a writer, I was able to write this fun, upbeat song that's made for a live show, but it also says something. And then in college towns, just that whole first verse, high school graduation came, somehow they let me pass, told me to go off to college, but I wasn't doing that. Loaded up this guitar, put on some boots and hit the road to chase that dream, to play and sing down there on Music Road. I just love just the way it just says it.
Yeah. Oh my God. And how excited. Is it crazy to think that like now you actually are doing that? You're singing, like, is it crazy to realize that dream came true for you?
This last 7 months has been the most surreal journey of just like looking around every week and just kind of having to pinch myself, getting to live out all these dreams, getting to go on tours that I bought tickets to, getting to play in front of these crowds. Here's crowds singing back. But for me growing up, songwriters were always these celebrities to me, like these massive hit songwriters in Nashville that most people have no idea who they are. But you know all these songs they've written. Those guys were the people that in my head were these legends and these celebrities. And so to now be friends and collaborators and work with those exact people, that to me is one of the coolest parts of my job.
Who are some of your favorites?
So it's fun when you start writing songs, you kind of have to go through the speed dating process in Nashville. So you kind of just write with everybody and then
see what works. Yeah.
Some are awesome, some are terrible. Some days you feel like you're the best songwriter in the world. Some days you feel like you want to quit. But I think over time you start to figure out your group of people. My producer, Zach Crowell, has been super instrumental for me from day one. And then some of the people as writers, Matt Jenkins, Ben Hayslip, Josh Osborne, Ashley Gorley, and one of my best friends, Daniel Ross, has written a lot of songs that I've gotten to put out. And so it's fun getting to share these songs with those guys too. You know, Daniel and I learned from it together, and it's kind of his first single on radio too. So getting to share that journey with him has been really fun.
If you could collab with anyone right now in country music, who would it be? Or actually maybe even outside of country music, it could be anyone. Who comes to mind?
All right, I'll give you three. Kenny Chesney, that's my guy. Like at some point in my life, I have to work with him.
Have you ever met him?
I haven't met him.
Oh.
I was sitting right here. He was sitting like back to back with me, I think 2 months ago at breakfast, but it just didn't feel like the right time. So I just walked out. I didn't say hey.
Work up the nerve next time. Yeah.
Yeah, next time. And then Eric Church, I'm a massive Eric Church fan. And that was another one of those concerts that like I watched and like it kind of changed my life, of like the way that he controlled the crowd. And then outside of country, big Justin Bieber fan.
Love it.
And that would be a fun one.
I'm imagining you and Justin on a song. What's your favorite Justin Bieber song? Do you have one?
Yeah, I'm like the whole Purpose record. Some of that stuff is like gold to me.
Well, Connor, thank you so much for being here. This has been so fun chatting with you, and congratulations on the EP and of course the tour. We're so excited for you.
Emily, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it.
And of course, you can stream his debut EP on iHeartCountry, and we'll see you next time.